Hello everyone, welcome to Brain Blitz Audios. Today, let's read a story from the Legend of the Glorious Adventures of Tyl Ulenspiegel. The story is The Mysterious Picture, written by Charles da Costa, the father of Belgian literature. This is about an interesting episode from the life of an artist. Let's begin with the story, shall we? Tyl, in the course of his wanderings from court to court, rode to the palace of the Archduke of Battenberg on his donkey. His clothes and appearance attracted everyone's attention. His cap was set smartly on his head, and the three bright feathers on it danced in the breeze as he rode. At the main entrance to the palace, the captain of the guards called out to him, "Hey there, you fellow on the donkey! We don't allow any loafers here. You and your donkey already look like skeletons." The captain of the guards was a tall, well-built, red-haired man of about 25. He was handsomely dressed in his gold-braided uniform. Tyl looked at him coolly and then dismounted from his donkey. He bowed low and said, "May God bless you, Sir Captain. If I look like a skeleton, it's not my fault. I am very hungry. I've come here because I'm forced to. If you will be so good as to give me a piece of the gold cord that you wear on your coat, I'll go and hang myself by the teeth on that large leg of mutton that I see hanging in that butcher's shop." The captain was playing a game of chess with another officer. He looked curiously at Tyl. "Where do you come from?" he asked. "From Flanders," replied Tyl. "What do you want?" "I should like to show His Highness the Archduke one of my paintings. I'm a painter." "Well, if you're a painter and if you come from Flanders, you may come in," said the captain, somewhat impressed. The captain knew that Flemish painters and their pictures were in great demand all over Europe. Tyl was presented to the Archduke. He saluted the Archduke 3 times and stood before him with his head bowed. "May your Highness pardon me for my rashness in thinking that one of my paintings will please your Highness. I have bought a picture of Our Lady, the Virgin, in her royal robes. I have painted it specially so that I might lay it at your noble feet." Tyl paused a few moments for his words to sink in. Then he continued, "You must forgive me, your Highness, if I've dared to hope that this picture will please you. Perhaps your Highness might wish to offer me the chair of your court painter who died recently. I can see the empty velvet chair waiting to be filled." The Virgin's picture was a splendid painting, and the Archduke made up his mind at once. He embraced and kissed him on both cheeks. He said, "I shall be delighted to make you my court painter." He directed him to the chair and made him sit on it. "Well, my dear fellow," he said, "you do have a tongue in your head, and you certainly seem to know how to use it. You're a very talkative fellow, aren't you?" "Your Highness, may it please you to remember me and my donkey, Jeff, for just one more minute," Tyl replied. "My donkey has been feeding himself fairly well all along the way on the thorns in the hedges and the grass on the roadside. But I have had nothing to eat for the past 3 days. My stomach has been complaining very loudly. Perhaps your Highness can even hear it now. I have been feeding myself with dreams of good food and drink at your royal table." The Archduke smiled and said, "Well, my dear fellow, you will certainly have something more solid than dreams to feed on. But where's your donkey?" "I left him outside, opposite the palace. I shall be most grateful if Jeff is looked after. He needs a little fodder and lodging at night," said Tyl. The Archduke immediately ordered the donkey to be taken care of, and he added, "Treat it like one of my own animals." Before long, supper was served, and it was like a wedding feast. The tables were loaded with every kind of food and drink. Wine flowed like water. The courtiers stuffed themselves with the choicest dishes. The Archduke made Tyl eat and drink until his stomach was about to burst. The Archduke too ate heartily. His face was flushed with drink, but he seemed lost in thought. He suddenly looked up and said loudly, our court painter must paint our portrait, so that we will have the satisfaction of leaving our memory to our descendants. We too have to take our place in history, alongside our noble ancestors whose portraits adorn these walls. It is sad to think of death. We do not know when God will think fit to summon us, but our portrait should be painted. Tyl quickly replied, "Your lordship's slightest wish is to me command. All the same, I do feel rather unhappy about painting your lordship all by yourself. Is it not terrible to think of your lordship being lonely forever and ever? Don't you think, ladies and gentlemen, that His Highness should be accompanied at least by Her Highness, her ladies, the noble generals and captains who adorn this court? A court like this has few rivals in splendor, loveliness, and chivalry. In the midst of such valor and beauty, I'll make my lord and lady shine forth like the moon surrounded by lanterns." The Archduke thought that it was a good idea. "Well, my friend, your painting will be a great piece of art. What reward do you expect for it?" 100 pieces of gold. You can pay me now or later, just as you please." "Here are the 100 pieces of gold in advance," said the Archduke, giving him the gold. "My lord, you're the most generous of masters. You've filled my lamp with oil. It will forever burn in your honor." The next day, Tyl asked the Archduke to allow him to see all the courtiers who were to be painted along with him. They came and saw him one by one. The first to come was the commander-in-chief of the army. He was a short, fat, bald man with an enormous paunch. He whispered to Tyl's ear, "When you paint my picture, remember, you ought to make me look handsome. If you do not make my stomach look flat, I'll have you hanged. Remember, I was once a very handsome soldier." An elderly lady came next. She had a large hump on her back. "Sir Painter," she said softly, "make me look young and beautiful. If you didn't remove the hump on my back and supply what I lack in beauty, I will have you torn to pieces." A young lady, who was the companion of the Duchess, came in as soon as the old lady left. She was young and pretty, but had lost 3 of her front teeth in an accident. She warned Tyl that if, in her picture, she didn't see herself smiling with a perfect set of pearly teeth, she would have him cut into small bits by her lover. She pointed to the captain of the guards. Similar requests and threats continued until he had finished with the last of the courtiers. Then the Archduke sent for him and said, "My dear fellow, I want your portrait to be perfect in every detail. You are to paint all my courtiers exactly as we see them. If you leave out a mole, a pimple, or a single gray hair, I'll have you slaughtered like a pig." Tyl coolly thought things over and said to himself, "If I paint this picture, I shall certainly be killed. Either the Archduke will have me slaughtered like a pig for having disobeyed him, or the courtiers will have me murdered for painting them as they really are. In either case, I am to die. What am I to do? Perhaps it's wiser not to paint this picture at all." The following day, he asked the Archduke for the hall where he was to paint the picture. He was shown a large room with bare walls. Tyl asked for thick curtains to be hung on the walls. He wanted his painting to be protected from the flies and the dust. He also asked for 3 assistants to help him in mixing colors. The Archduke gave him all that he asked for. For 30 days, Tyl and his assistants feasted themselves on the choicest dishes and drank the finest wines. On the 31st day, the Archduke thrust his nose in through the door and said, "It's time that you finish the painting. I am eager to see it. Is it ready?" Tyl said that the picture was being completed and that he needed some more days to finish it. The Archduke replied that as long as the painting was perfect in every detail, he was prepared to be patient. The delay of a week or 2 did not matter, he said. Tyl and his companions continued their merrymaking for another fortnight. On the 45th day, once again the Archduke poked his nose in through the door. "Isn't it time that the picture was completed?" he asked. Tyl said that the portrait was being given the finishing touches. He begged for some more time. The Archduke said that his delay did not matter so long as he did an excellent job. But he added, "You should either complete the picture within 15 days, or you should show me the unfinished picture now." Tyl promised to complete the picture within 15 days, saying that only a few minor details remained to be filled in. "Should your lordship see the painting now, you would not be satisfied with it," he said. Tyl and his companions enjoyed themselves for yet another fortnight. On the 60th morning, the Archduke forced his way into the room and said, "I must see the picture at once. Where's the picture? Draw those curtains apart." "The picture is ready, my lord," announced Tyl. "Then why don't you draw the curtains? What's the matter?" the Archduke asked. "I want you to grant me one last favor," said Tyl. "Please order all the courtiers to assemble in this room. When they're here, I want to say a few words to them, and then I will draw the curtains." The Archduke ordered all the courtiers to assemble in the hall. Tyl addressed them. "My lord, ladies and gentlemen, the picture is ready. You shall now be able, as I draw the curtains, to see how well I have done my work. You can all admire my work, but I must warn you that there's something very special about this picture. Only those among you who have noble blood in your veins will be able to see this painting. All the rest, whatever their rank or position, will see nothing but a blank wall. Now I'll draw the curtains." Tyl flung the curtains aside. The courtiers outdid one another in showing their admiration for the picture. They praised Tyl for his splendid painting. They remarked how natural each one of them looked in the picture, and eagerly pointed out their friends and acquaintances. All of a sudden, the Duke's jester leapt into the air and shouted, "All of you know that I'm a fool and I've no blue blood in my veins. I can see no picture, but only a blank wall." "When fools begin to talk," observed Tyler, "it's time for wise men to walk." He calmly strode out of the hall and rode away on his donkey. The feathers in his cap danced in the gentle breeze. And that's all, folks, about the story, The Mysterious Picture. Is the jester a fool? Why do you think so? Please give us your views in the comments section below. If you like what you saw, please like this video and subscribe to our channel, Brain Blitz Audios. Until the next episode, see you soon. Bye bye.